If money could be simple, more people would understand it. More people would be able to handle it. More people would avoid debt problems, and more people would be financially free. So many people don't engage with their finances because they think that it's just too complex. They might have good intentions and maybe they'll sit down with a plan to sort everything out, but very soon they'll give up because they just don't know where to start. So if I could make things as simple as possible for you, what would that look like? Hi and welcome back to the channel. My name is Pete Matthew and I'm a chartered financial planner based here in the UK. I spend my time dealing with fairly complex financial situations for my clients and simplifying things for them. And this isn't because the clients can't cope with complexity, they're quite intelligent enough, but instead simplifying things so that they can relegate their finances down the list of things that they're always thinking about. Now for you, don't run before you can walk. There's loads of distractions here on YouTube and elsewhere when it comes to finances. But there's no point getting fancy with investing, trading, crypto or whatever before you've got a simple system in place for running your money day to day. If your finances are simple, they'll run largely on autopilot and you can get on with doing much more fun things with your mental and physical energy. So what does simple look like? Well, it doesn't matter how much or how little money you have, or even if you're starting from below zero and you want to pay off some debt. The structure of a simple financial plan looks pretty much the same. And I'm going to scooch to the side to leave some space for some graphics here. Everybody has two levels to their finances, and we're going to call those levels today and someday. So everything below the line here is to do with today, now, your current everyday spending. And everything above the line is about someday, so that's next year, 10, 20 or even 30 years time. It's about putting money away so that you can use it for the future. So let's start with today. And there are three things you need to run your everyday finances as simply as possible. First, you need a current account that you can spend out of. This account should have a debit card, but they all do really these days. And ideally, it will be with a bank that can help you categorize your spending, because that's going to help with planning your spending and keeping it under control. That's a process that we call budgeting. Then you need a second current account, which we're going to call your bills account. This is the account that you should get paid into, whether that's salary, self-employed earnings, benefit payments. Anything you receive as a personal income should go into that bills account. And the idea is that most of our bills are regular, usually they're monthly amounts, and so they can be paid by direct debit from your bills account. And then finally, you need a savings account to act as an emergency fund. It's a buffer that you can dip into if something unexpected happens. Now this three-account system makes it very easy to manage your money day to day. So every month or every week, whenever you get paid, you need to do three things in this order. Firstly, pay yourself first. Decide how much you're going to pay off your bad debts. That's things like credit cards, store cards, or personal loans. Or, if you don't have any of those debts, decide how much you're going to pay into your emergency fund to build that up. Once you've paid yourself first, the second thing is to leave enough money in the bills account to cover all the direct debit bills until you next get paid. And finally, whatever's left after you've paid yourself first and set aside money for bills, that money gets moved into your spending account. And whatever money you move into your spending account, that's where you need to spend some time setting a budget. That is, deciding what to spend that money on based on what's coming up in the following month. So that's things like food, petrol for the car, weekend away, your friend's birthday, new school uniform for the kids. If this is helpful so far, hit the like button for me because it really helps. And subscribe to the channel because in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be putting up 2 masterclass videos about investing for your future. One if you're building wealth and one if you're approaching retirement. So subscribe and stay tuned for those. When we're into a nice rhythm of getting paid, moving the money to where it needs to be, and when we've got our bad debt paid off and a decent emergency fund in place, then we can turn our minds to someday, to the future. And here, you only need 2 accounts. Firstly, a pension. Now, if you're employed, you're working for somebody else, you'll have one of those made available to you at work, and you should join it. Because if you do, you get extra free money paid into it by your employer, and also some of the tax that you would pay on your salary gets redirected into your pension. If you're self-employed, you'll need to set up your own plan, but you should definitely do that and start paying 5% of your earnings into it to begin with. Under current rules, you can't touch your pension until age 55, and this is rising to 58 in a few years' time. And the only other account you'll need is a stocks and shares ISA. And this is just a tax-free account that is accessible anytime should you need it. Inside both your pension and your ISA, you can invest your money for the future. Anything you're going to buy will cost more in the future thanks to inflation, and so you need to invest. That's the process of growing your money faster than inflation, so it is still retaining its spending power. Now, the very next video that I'm going to do is an investment masterclass where I will give you everything you need to know and everything you need to do to get your pension and ISA set up on autopilot. I'll also be giving away a free guide in that video to help you implement this stuff yourself. So subscribe if you haven't already to be the first to know when that video is released. So sort out your today finances first with a bills account, a spending account, and an emergency fund account. These days, actually, you can sometimes do all that with one actual account, just using different pots in the app. It's easier than ever to do, and it's the principle, really, of how money moves around your simple system that matters. Once your debt is paid off and you've got a good emergency buffer fund behind you, you can then start looking to the future, someday, and putting money aside for that. But none of this is complicated, folks. You can set up this whole system in less than an hour. You can have it running super smoothly after just 1 month of trying it out. Let me know how you get on in the comments, and stay tuned for next week's investment masterclass. I'll see you then.